This is Jonathan Agatha, Pro Boxing Fans, joined by Adam Smith after Agit Kabayel stoppage of Damian Knyba. First of all, the atmosphere in here was electric all night long. How did you find the whole experience in Düsseldorf?
Unbelievable, incredible atmosphere. I came here in 1998 when Mark Prince fought Darius Mikuszewski. There was a huge period for German boxing, which was fabulous. The Klitschko's, obviously, Arthur Abraham, Marcus Bias, Fennock, so many great champions. But it's been a sleeping giant, and Queensberry have come over here and they've got the right guy who is charismatic, who's marketable, who's exciting, who's got the Kurdish history, who's got the German heritage, and he's packed this place out. 13,000 sold in 72 hours. They could have had 40,000 here tonight. It was extraordinary. George Warren said it's the best atmosphere he's ever been at. I think it's certainly the best atmosphere I've ever seen in Germany, and one of the best I've witnessed. It was electric, and we've got to come back. Fabulous night, really enjoyed it. One or two strange stoppages, some great action. I felt for Damian Knyba at the end there, but Agit Kabayel got the job done after a dodgy start.
A little bit too early. People are split at ringside tonight on that.
Yeah, I did when I first saw it. And Mark Lyson's a brilliant referee. There was a terrible stoppage earlier on in the night with the other heavyweight fight with Jala and Milash, I thought. And I thought the refereeing at times tonight was strange. Mark Lyson, brilliant, one of the best in the world, I think. On the naked eye, I thought it was a little early, and you saw Knyba complaining straight away. When you watched it back, he was getting hit quite regularly. Look, I think he would have won within the next 10-15 seconds anyway, so yeah, he saved him for another day. He had his first round, and after that he began to sort of slightly fall apart under the pressure, and Kabayel got his momentum going. When he was in full flow, there was only one winner, so yeah, slightly early, but Kabayel, I think at that point, was going to win the fight.
What do you think Usyk would be thinking watching that tonight?
Well, we just heard Lawrence Okoli and Tony Yoka on DAZN, and neither of them were particularly impressed with the performance. Okoli thinks he beats Kabayel easily, and so they're watching it from a different stance as well. Usyk's the best heavyweight on the planet. He's proved it time and time again. He's not going to be losing any sleep over any of them, but I think Kabayel deserves his opportunity. If it's not Usyk, maybe it'll be Fury. Okoli's a good fight for us, obviously. There's so many heavyweights queuing up, lining up. I'd love to see Kabayel and Okoli. I'd love to see Kabayel against Fury. I'd love to see Kabayel against Usyk. What I want to do is come back here to a stadium show, because I think Queensberry are onto something here. I think German boxing has always been that second sport to football. I lived through many years of boxing over here when I was at Sky, and I think this is a fantastic start to the year for DAZN, and we've got to come back here.
And Tyson Fury obviously announcing his comeback. Few opponents in the mix, including Makhmudov, Yoka. Who do you want to see him in with in April?
I love Tony Yoka, he's a great guy. He'll fight anybody. I'd like to see Tony Yoka maybe fight Joe Joyce. There's a bit of history there. I think it'll be Makhmudov. I think that's the perfect comeback fight for Tyson. I was speaking to John during the week, and I think that's the one. He's just coming off the win over Dave Allen. He's a big guy. He's dangerous. I'd love to see that happen. I'd love to see it happen in the UK.
Just finally, have you seen the Naz film yet? I think it's come out this week, and it's been a bit of a reaction in terms of Naz's comments about Brendan Ingle. You know him both. What did you make of his comments this week?
Yeah, Naz called me up a few days ago, invited me to the premiere. I went with my wife, and we had a great evening. We didn't want to go anywhere near the red carpet and the photography. We just had a nice evening out. My wife and I, we both lived through the Naz days. I did, obviously, particularly closely to Naz and to Brendan. I spent huge amounts of time with the pair of them. I grew up in boxing with Naseem Hamed, Ricky Hatton, Joe Calzaghe, and Naz and I had a very intense relationship. So yeah, look, I'm close to Naz. I was very close to Brendan. There was a lot of heat on both sides, and it was a split that was probably inevitable at some point. It's a shame, because I think if he had stayed with Brendan, maybe there would have been more success. I think he retired a bit too early at 28, but that's history, and I think Naz realizes that he would have liked to have had that chat with Brendan to sort of clear it all up, which sort of didn't come, but he's talked to Dominic and John, and Johnny Nelson were there. There's a lot of people that obviously side with Brendan on that. Brendan was an incredible figure in not just in Sheffield boxing, but for everybody in the area, the kids, and he was wonderful, and it was great times. But yeah, it got difficult, and money always comes into it, and unfortunately they split. So look, the film was enjoyable. It's a great story, and I hope people get to see it. And I thought some of the acting was terrific.
Adam, a big few weeks coming up for yourself on DAZN and with The Voice of Boxing on YouTube, which you'll be back into in a couple of weeks, right?
Absolutely. It's non-stop, actually. I'm in Liverpool next week with Darren Till for his Gorilla show, which is on DAZN. The week after, it's Manchester for Moses and Talma. Then Andy and I will be heading up with Voice of Boxing and the rest of the DAZN cast and crew for the big Matchroom show with Josh Kelly. What a night that is. You've got Teofimo Lopez and Shakur Stevenson. You've also got Adam Azim in London. We can't be everywhere. February the 7th is Nick Ball. It's absolutely non-stop. But I just want to say two things. I want to say my heart goes out to AJ and to the families of Sinner and Latz. And it was devastating, the news over the festive period. It was awful. And I love AJ and the whole team, and Benga and Freddie and Katie and everybody. And my heart goes out to them. And I hope that AJ gets a rest away from boxing, that he can come to terms with what's happened, and we shouldn't be in any way, Eddie's absolutely right, asking him any questions about our sport. It's way beyond that, and my heart goes out to him. And the other thing I want to do is wish Dalton Smith all the best for later tonight. You can't be biased as a commentator in boxing, but I think he's just such an incredibly great professional. He's a wonderful guy, Dalton Smith. He's given so much to this sport. He's done everything the right way, and I think he's fully deserved of this world title opportunity, and it would be brilliant for British boxing if you can become WBC champion later tonight.
Absolutely. Adam, safe travels back to the UK. Appreciate your time.
Cheers, take care.
Thank you.